Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xcub here and welcome back to another video. I hope all of you are doing well because I am as always, and in this video we're going to be doing some little push flights in infinite flight. Now we're currently located in the south of the UK at Dealand Airfield. Echo Golf Kilo Lima is the ICAO code for anyone interested in it, and we are on training server as well. We're not going to be using the server of expert server, as I feel like I'm probably not going to be very good at this, so it's going to be interesting. Now if you're new here as well, welcome to the channel, especially if this is your first time, and feel free to subscribe if you are new. So what we're going to do is we're going to bunk up our mixture here and start up engine 1, and hopefully get that done. Now we can probably open our window just for a little bit of air if we want in the little cockpit. Now it's a very tiny cockpit. Sometimes this view might even be better for us. We've got our flaps up here, so we're going to bring them down to 16 degrees, and we can see our flaps out the back there. And we've got a lovely little glass overview on the head of the aircraft, and you should be able to hear the volume of the aircraft. I'm hoping it might be a bit quiet. What I'm going to do actually is turn it out just a tiny bit to halfway, where it's slightly louder. And hopefully that'll be good.
Radio, November 444 Echo Uniform, taxiing to runway 24.
So close out that window. We've also just announced our taxi as well. We're actually going to bring our mixture down to about 70% for the taxi, just to save ourselves a little bit of fuel, be a little bit more fuel efficient here. The taxiway to runway 24 is very thin, and so we just want to get a really good line on it, and because we're obviously not going to be able to see too far down that runway. Down the end of it, and we can just see on the edge here. Let's turn right just a little bit more so we don't overrun. I'll stay here on the runway, on the taxiway, so what I'll do is use the external view and get us perfectly in line there, and we'll just power up a little bit so we can go a little bit faster. Now you'll notice in the cockpit here of the Xcub there is no map. I've tried to get a map, but I can't seem to get one to show up in the display, which is a bit of a pity, but I know where we're flying, so we're going to be heading down to around this point here, where I'm showing you on the map right now, and we're just going to, do a few loops around there. The flight shouldn't be awfully long, it'll be a nice short flight hopefully, and then obviously we can enjoy it. Now, I am wanting to do an event out of this airport, because of course it's a really cool little airfield, and I think it'd be great if we can show like a small airfield like this in infinite flight a little bit of love. So it'd be great to see more people flying out of here. If you guys ever do end up flying out of this little airfield, let me know, show me a video, send me a photo of you there. You can contact me on Discord, Instagram and Twitter. There's also the email, of course, linked to the channel. So we're going to try and speed up our taxi down here. We're almost at the end of the runway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on our fuel mixture. We're going to bomb that to 100% in preparation for takeoff. We're going to get those strobe and landing lights on. We're going to make sure our master switch and avionics should already be on. That was a bit bad for me, I should have fixed that. Now we are just holding here, we're going to announce our takeoff, and we're going to be departing straight out.
Dealand Radio, November 444 Echo Uniform is taking off runway 24, departing straight out.
Okay, so we're at 10% here. I'm trying to do a cheeky little turn. Now this plane I find incredibly hard to control. So we're going to go left, right, we're going to swirl all over the place, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, let's just turn left here. Okay, we are bang on with that runway now. And you can see down here, so obviously being local, these are the South Downs, a lovely little bit of hills in the south of the UK. So let's announce our takeoff and let's go. So like as you can see already, this aircraft is taking a lot of control out of me. It's way stronger than I am. Trying to fight it here with the rudder, but we should be good to just rotate any point now anyways. We are airborne. That was a really bad takeoff. There are some winds down here today anyway, which was expected of us, but you can see here we are now airborne thankfully. The landing will be a little bit worse, but that's absolutely fine. Just bring our power back to about 90% while we climb. Now we're going to try and reach a few thousand feet here. Just try and steadily climb out. We can probably reduce our flaps in a bit anyway, and I'm happy with our pitch anywhere in between 10 and 15 degrees because we're just trying to gain some altitude.
Echo Uniform, you're in an active airspace. Please contact London
okay,
Centre
so
on
London Centre is
requested us to contact them.
even though this isn't in real life controlled airspace, I believe it's like free. You can see here we're just outside, but we're fine. We'll just check in them with the IFR. We'll just request the VFR free flight or visual flight rules. Hopefully we should be good with all of that. We'll proceed on course. We are good to do our free flight. Now we're going to take our left turn here now, like I spoke about. We want to be headed literally over there. So that's why I started heading. Hopefully we can get to about 2,000 feet. Or 1,500 feet would be good. Or 2,000, either or. So we'll just bring down our pitch a little bit. And we're going to take a bit of control with our mixture as well. We're going to bring that down just to reduce the aircraft power a little bit.
Climb and maintain flight level 270.
Perfect. So this is a lovely little flight we're doing here. You can see the little airfield we took out of down there. We've really gone up quite high.
Golf Hotel Romeo Oscar Echo Super is 3 nautical miles west of London Gatwick at 1,600 feet.
Put on the autopilot, we're headed at 500 feet per minute, but we're going to really accelerate along now a bit. So we're going to want to make a right turn, just about maybe a few degrees just down
Expect vectors for the ILS approach runway 27 left at London Heathrow. Descend and maintain 4,000. FedEx 58 Heavy. Golf Hotel Romeo Oscar Echo Super. Climb and maintain 5,000.
So let's just see what the exterior is. I'll just warn you guys, you won't be able to hear me talking, so I'll just show the views and we'll head back a bit. Okay, so this is a nice little view here. So we're going to do a little bit of 21 views, right? Hope you guys will see. We'll just set our speed up 1. Okay, so we can still really hear there's a lot of traffic in this region here. I believe that aircraft as well is what we can just hear right now. It's coming out of Gatwick. I'm not sure where it's headed to. That's fine. There's a lot of issues. You can see the purple lines. I suppose they're sort of within the London Centre region. But what we can do is we're going to mute them or just really turn down the AC volume at 2.0. Hopefully we won't hear them anymore. I'll just get all the notifications. I want to turn right a little bit, go on to about 200 degrees here, and hopefully we can sort out a little bit more. So you can see our fuel, I don't think that's actual fuel setting there, unfortunately. Our 20 degree pitch is doing. Now we've got a little time Eastbourne down here, there's Bexhill and Hastings over there. Okay, so we're looking good. That is a little river down here called the Cookmere. It should be visible, I can see it right in front of us. So hopefully we can fly on over the downs here quite nicely. There's a lovely bit of the UK to fly over. I mean, the scenery is not incredible, but for our infinite flight, we are dealing with some pretty good scenery. Now that was the wrong button. We'll try and get us into the view on the tail. Okay, so that is a very loud view there. Let's head into the cockpit back seat because it's quite a nice little one to be sat in. Obviously we're going to fly just around there. Now what is our speed looking like? Can we increase our speed at all? We are currently in the yellow region still, which is not too bad for what we're looking for, but it won't be long until we head back. Anyway, you can see the city of Brighton just there in the distance, all along there. So many of you may or may not be familiar with Brighton. Most of the British viewers shall be. Wouldn't imagine too many other viewers will be. They have a football team, which is quite cool. So we're flying right over the little river now, and hopefully the scenery is going to get quite cool. So if we bring our altitude up to maybe 3,000 feet, which is hopefully we can bring up 500, we'll be there soon. And just leave our speed lock on. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a nicer view of the scenery here on Infinite Flight. Now I'm going to log on to live view, so what you're going to hear right now is probably me typing on I'm just going to see what the aircraft looks like on the live flight for our route wise, because it's always cool to see what we've been doing. Okay, so this is the view I was hoping for. I mean, the cliffs aren't exactly white. Unfortunately, I don't think they are in Microsoft Flight Simulator either, so there's no issue with that. We're just making a left turn 20 degrees to try and give ourselves a little bit more scenery. Okay, so there is a lighthouse around here. I believe that's where it usually is. But if a flight you don't have any of them, just adjusted our setting. Now there is also a wind farm in the sea. You can generally see. Is that France over there? We can see. So really, it's either France or the Channel. No, that is France. We can see just over there in the distance, which is really cool. We can't see anywhere else in France though when we look in front of us. So we're going to make a really left turn, go 90 degrees. So there we go, head to 90. That will bring us, on a really nice view, hopefully parallel with the coast, which will be brilliant for this part of the bush flight. So there we go, it's just viewing up right now, we've got it right there. What a lovely view. I think even for infant flight quality, we all know the graphics are incredible, but you can see here the sheer quality that it is actually able to offer for a mobile flight simulator. I think it's really incredible. And I would love to do a little event down here at some point where we all just chill. And there's lots of people just flying in and out. We can use Shoreham as well as our airfield, just absolutely conquer the south coast down here with little turboprops. Like let's get the TBMs out, the Cessnas out, the Xcub of course. There's a little Cirrus as well. It's not very good, but it does exist. So we are here at 3,000 feet now, and the view hopefully. A little bit worse from it actually looks better inside the cockpit. We're going to make our left turn here. We don't really want to fly over many residential zones, so we're going to try and avoid the residential zones in general, just because planes are noisy. So try and keep a little bit realistic. I mean, planes do obviously fly over residential areas all the time, but that's absolutely fine. And can we, so we're going to request a frequency change soon when we get nearer to the airfield, and we're just going to try and set up a little trajectory soon from where we can fly. So we're going to send our altitude in a second once we level out and drop down our speed and start preparing for our descent back into the airfield. So we've done a cool little flight, we came down to the coast, and now we can head back hopefully. And then I imagine after this video I will do a little flight with everyone in our Discord server hopefully. Now I should let everyone know that channel memberships are now live. And with channel memberships, you're guaranteed flights with me personally, depending on what membership you gain or what level you go with. Obviously, there's no expectation of anyone to get anything. Obviously, there is no expectation and there is no force or pressure. I should bring back our power as well to about 50% here on the mixture. Just trying to keep that fuel conserved. Like I was talking about these memberships here, of course, like I'm going to do right now, a little flight with some people. There is no guarantee that we do them in our Discord server. We only really do them every now and again. They are not a guarantee. So we are perfect with our heading. So hopefully we'll fly directly over the airport so I can get a visual on it, which will make it much easier for the approach. So there's a little reservoir there, and the airfield is generally just beyond it. I think I can see it actually right now. Just loading up, but it's really good that we've got this idea of where we fly over it and can see it. So we're going to start a descent. We're a bit higher than I wanted to be. I didn't actually initially plan when I thought about the flight on ascending to over 2,000 feet is the limit I wanted to keep, but I thought the view would be a little bit better. So we're going to put that down. We're going to also reduce our speed to 100 knots. We can really hit the engine down here. Okay, so we're going to tune back in with our ATC audio here, so we're going to bring that back up.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, Turkish 826.
Jordanian 456 flight of 2 is 8 nautical miles east.
November 444 Echo Uniform, request frequency change.
So hopefully
Scandinavian
they can approve that with us for our
1436,
frequency
continue
change.
as file. Expect the ILS approach runway 27 right at London Heathrow. Unable. Foxtrot Kilo Yankee Zulu Romeo.
Roger, Scandinavian 1436.
November 444 Echo Uniform. Say intentions.
So they want our intentions. We don't really want an ATC to give us.
Requesting descent to 3,000. Jordanian 456 flight
any
off to his 8
instructions. So what
nautical
I'm gonna
miles
do is just
northeast
announce
of
that
Lake
we
Places
go
Belleville at
VFR
22,500
to
feet.
Demon.
Requesting
November 444 Echo Uniform is
So we
3
just want our
nautical
flight
miles
following, so we
southeast
can
of
contact
Deanland at
the unit from here
2,400
and do
feet.
it ourselves. Now, there is
Requesting
an
flight
aircraft due to
following
fly
to
over us
Deanland.
at
I'm
25,000
sorry,
feet, so we're not going to see
Jordanian
that at all.
456
But
flight off.
hopefully ATC can approve
Scandinavian
that.
757 is
And I
14
don't
nautical
yet have a
miles
visual
west of
the
Grimbergen at
airfield. There it is, I have now
13,200 feet.
obtained a visual.
Requesting
So we're
ILS
gonna
approach
make a
any
little
runway
left
at
turn
London
here.
Heathrow. Star 350. Descend and
Just so we
maintain
can
flight
fly
level
over the airfield a little
220.
bit more.
Turkish
And I'm gonna
175 Heavy.
increase that
Contact
mixture to
Amsterdam
80%
Center
now.
on 127.0.
Just give the aircraft a little
Sky
bit more
Flyer
kick in it.
236 is 9
We're gonna
nautical
descend
miles
down again to
southwest of
1500
Ifrahani at
feet.
17,900 feet. Requesting
That
ILS
aircraft should
approach
be
runway
directly
8
above
left
us.
at Paris.
Oh, there it is. We can actually see the aircraft.
Turkish 826. Frequency change
Is that an
approved.
Emirates
Good day.
aircraft, I believe,
Sky
there with
Flyer
the underbelly?
236. Contact
we can always
Paris
check where
Charles
it's headed,
Tower on
A350.
120.9.
Let's go to
Boeing
Paris.
227
So,
Super.
maybe
Radar
not
contact.
Contacting Paris.
So,
November 444 Echo Uniform. Proceed on course to Deanland.
okay, so ATC's
Proceed on
approved
course.
our course
November
onto Deanland
444 Echo
Airfield,
Uniform.
which is brilliant. So,
Speedbird
we go to
007.
now.
Radar contact.
Head back. We're going to just say
Jordanian
thank you, good day. Anyway, it's just
Star 350.
polite.
Thank you. Good day.
Contact Deanland, announce we're inbound for landing for runway 24. We will be making
Deanland
right
Radio.
traffic as we're
November
passing over the
444
little
Echo
airfield,
Uniform
so
is
just
1
get a little
nautical
closer
miles to the
to
southeast of
There it is,
1,700 for landing.
destination.
We'll make right
just for
traffic
us.
for runway 24.
Cut back that speed again now. We've been pitching down as well for a fair amount of the flight for our descent. Yeah, it's absolutely normal. We're now at 80 knots, so we're going to start thinking about bringing in our flaps and making a few turns in a minute. There's a little forest over there that I sort of want to fly over, where the grass is before. It's a bit darker. We're obviously a lot higher than I want to be for our approach here into the airfield. We'll keep our descent. I'm going to start a right heading for 90 degrees in just a minute. So hopefully I'm going to get some sort of visual of the airfield soon. Now in real life there is another airfield just about here-ish somewhere, but that is not an in-flight flight because it's not really a proper bigger airfield. And we can start that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5. Oh no, we want to go that way 10 degrees. Go a little bit more, 5 more. Perfect, that's just what we're after. So the actual altitude of our runway, is to see what that is 60 foot above ground level, sea level, which is absolutely fine. We've still got a visual on our runway, which is exactly what we want. It's really good to see. Now I'm going to just bump down our speed again a little bit to 70 knots. So I'm going to make sure that mixture's at full throttle now for when we start our landing. And I'm happy to bring down our speed to 16, our flaps at 16. Just bring them down a little bit. We could probably bring them down to 33 actually. Might be a smarter idea. And we're at 1,000 feet, so now we can start our descent again into 500 feet, where we can then probably think about turning onto a right base for this one. Lost it there. There it is. Yeah. So we can think about that right base now. So we report position. We're just currently on right downwind anyway when we're too far.
Deanland Radio.
November
November 444 Echo
I mean, no one
Uniform
else
is
is
on right
actually here, so it
downwind.
doesn't matter how
Runway
good our
24.
ATC coverage is. So we're just going to turn into that right base position now. Yeah, 5 degrees. Perfect. Looking very promising for our landing here. I mean, it's probably going to be a really bad, really bumpy landing, but that's fine. Hopefully we can get in a nice little thing. So we're going to try and just make a few more right turns. It's not going to be the smoothest of landing, so I'm preparing you all for an awful landing, because that's exactly what it's going to be. And we will be taking manual control of the aircraft soon. We probably should have manual control for a little bit more of the flight here, but there is our airport. So just going to announce our position on final now.
Deanland Radio.
So you are
November
entering now, and I don't
444
really
Echo
want to be
Uniform
getting
is on
ATC.
final. Runway 24.
So we're going to keep our descent just a little bit more. Set our altitude automatically for 200 feet. And hopefully that airport, or the airfield, just going to pop out of our view here. Just a second, we are nearly ready to make another right turn. We'll do that now actually. Got a 30-degree turn, maybe too much though. We're on about 220-ish. But we've really messed up our turning here. This aircraft's just taking a mind of its own because it's travelling really slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a manual control. So, we can deal with the heading. That is all in our control now. We can just bring up our flaps and everything. So we're going to just hold that out on vertical speed is now in my control. The whole aircraft is now in my control. So we're a little bit too low, so I'm going to bring up our flaps and hopefully we can just do a little right turn. Here I'm just using the rudder as well while we're turning to get a little bit more control over the aircraft, and hopefully the plan is we can nearly not just stall fully, but that is sort of how I want to bring the plane to the ground. So we're going to try and drop a little bit too high for where I want to be right now on the runway. So we're really dropping down at that speed, and hopefully we're going to make a good landing here. I want to clear that flight out as well, so I'll do that right now. I mean, it probably shouldn't on final. It's fine, we're coming in really high, but we've got a lovely view, and you can see here how we're headed in near enough to drop out on the runway, which is brilliant. So we're going to just keep headed. I feel like we're going into a bit of crosswind anyway. See our wind headed, it's kind of into us, sort of diagonal, so we're going to have to make a few adjustments. Might have been a bit too early, that one. We're just going to drop down our speed a little bit more. There we go. Coming in very well now for this runway. Just bring up that speed a bit. Really have to increase our speed just a little bit, just in case we have to do a go around. We are approaching stall, like I said. Completely ignore that because we're over the runway now, which is where I want to be. And oh, that was really bad. That was really bad. That is the worst landing I think I've ever done. That was hideous. Even I generally try and pass a bad landing as a good one, but even I know I absolutely hate landing the Xcub. We have landed. Why is it telling us we're stalling? I did a much better landing when I did this flight yesterday. It's fine, we're going to have to push on forward anyway along the runway until we can access it. Maybe we shouldn't fly Xcubs anymore. I feel like our next bush flight will probably be in a Cessna after that. But it's like the Xcubs are a lovely little fun aircraft to fly, especially on infinite flight. So we've still got that mixture fully up, we are still on the runway, so hopefully we can just speed up our taxi a little bit and we can get back to a random patch of grass where we can sit on for the duration. So we should keep up that taxi. Oof, well, if anyone in the comments knows how to land an Xcub, please let me know, because I do not at all. We don't want to take off again, so we check the end of our run. You can see here that the back wheel has lifted off the ground yet again. So, make that left turn here then. Cool. Fabulous, we are now off the runway. So we can announce clear of all runways,
Dreamland Radio,
for all of the many other aircraft that fly here on a
is clear of all runways.
And I think, I mean, realistically, we can just leave the plane around here, because I'd imagine I'll be doing another flight out of here right after I stop recording. And hopefully, I will get a better landing. Cool, so I'm going to park and brake this. We're going to deal with all of the switches quickly while we end the video. So if you guys did enjoy the video, and this is one of your first time watching a video here on the channel, welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you feel like subscribing. It would mean quite a lot if you can. So other than that, I will see you in my next video. Good night.